Good afternoon. Sorry. First of all, thank you to Al-Ula for organizing this event, and a special thank you to Experts 360, Lara Khzouz and Fadi Bako, excellent coordination. And of course, to the great panel here that you have, the experts within the industry. So basically what we're going to discuss now is the impact of technology on human resources. The three gentlemen here gave an excellent presentation as panel experts on the technology. So now we're going to see and assess basically how is that impacting how the facility management industry from a human resources standpoint would operate. If I push the right button. Okay, sorry. There's two. I got the right one. Okay, so basically over the past 2 decades, we've seen an incredible level of evolution and integration of technology into the service sector. I'm not going to go deep into the types of technologies that the gentleman already covered. I'm just going to touch on it very gently. So this has basically increased the level of technology, and that's become creating a more affordable and accessible opportunity for clients and providers. As they were saying before, probably CCTV cameras and access control systems 10 or 20 years ago might have been a substantial investment for clients and for programs. Today it's actually quite cost effective, and as such is being easily integrated within a lot of commercial and investment projects. From the technology standpoint, it's basically achieving multiple key critical factors: automation and streamlining of services, real-time situational awareness, and the reactive nature of technology versus the proactive nature of humans. And we'll touch on this point later on in the presentation in regards to that big differential of the importance of human relations and human resources. So the result is basically an impact on the requirements and the role of human resources within the services sector. What we mean by that is what was the role of a certain individual within an organization, let's say 5 or 10 years ago. Now with the integration of technology, his role or job description has changed or excelled, and the requirements for those personnel have changed as well. So the question then addresses, how are these technologies impacting human resources within the service sector? What we've done is basically segmented them into advantages and disadvantages so that we can understand further their impact within the industry. From the advantages standpoint, the personnel focus on improving services rather than dealing with operational issues. So from here, with the integrated technology, like what they were saying, you have your CCTV, your access control, your building management. Now the personnel that are on site can actually focus on the service end of the business instead of considering and dealing with the operational issues. Another advantage is increased workplace productivity. As Mr. Ibrahim was saying, in regards to the building management system, instead of having 10 people trying to manage it, now you only need 1 or 2 people to do the same job. So that's definitely increased productivity. Then you also have the cost savings and cost efficiencies that are driven with that by having less personnel. The disadvantages are obviously having less personnel on site. And also very important is the loss of the human element. So as sophisticated as technology can be from an artificial intelligence standpoint, they'll never truly be able to have decision-making and troubleshooting capabilities that a human would. And that goes more to the middle management and senior management levels. And the technical malfunctions or maintenance issues that may cause system failures. At the end of the day, it's a technology, it can fail. And you'll always need a human either to maintain it, service it, support it, or 3 great companies like these guys to come and fix it. So again, I'm just going to touch on the technology. I'm not going to go deep on it. So what are the technologies that are being implemented, and how are they affecting human resources within a facility management sector? First and foremost being the HR management systems. So those are either, let's say, for example, RFID systems, GPS systems, guard touring systems. So these allow basically tags to be put around the building, and then you can tag the tag to identify if a task has been completed and if you've actually done or got to the area that you're supposed to. That's providing real-time reporting to management, and most importantly, visibility and accountability. So you have a certain number of tasks that you're supposed to do during the day, and this system would be able to report to management, have those tasks been completed or not. From the CCTV standpoint, as they touched on the security standpoint, here I want to talk about the applications of the security system. So surveillance of public areas, deterrence and reduction of crime, theft, and vandalism, monitoring scenarios and activities, including employee performance and compliance. From a security standpoint, gathering evidence, decision-making tool, and maintaining records. So this impact, for example, let's say you had 20 security guards at a facility, and now with the installation of the CCTV cameras, the area or the angle that they were discussing earlier, that the security guard is no longer needed at that specific point. Now you can just use them as a mobile patrol within the vicinity. Another technology impact is the artificial intelligence, which is basically the trigger word these days. And this is basically enhancing operational effectiveness through automation. Examples of what they gave before were the video analytics, the license plate recognition, or ANPR, and the building management systems moving forward. I found this very interesting statistic that 11 to 37% increase in productivity should occur based on integrated technologies. So by installing systems that they were talking about, CCTV, access control, building management systems, automatically you could perceive a increase of productivity of 11 to 37%. As I said earlier, now because it's more sophisticated, so now you have this great amount of data that's coming through, it can't just be managed by people anymore, right? So it has to be taken to the next level, which gets to the analytics aspect. I won't repeat what the gentleman said before, but basically this is driving and providing the analysis for the operator. So instead of having 10 people in a command and control center or a security operations center, you can basically narrow it down to 2. Interestingly enough, there's a statistic by the US FBI that within the first 20 minutes of a CCTV operator, he's unable to assess the differential of 80% of the threats on a CCTV monitor. So by integrating technologies that they were talking about earlier, the video analytics, the behavior analytics, identification of suspicious behavior, of course, hopefully not Santa Claus, right? Will give you a faster analysis, so seconds instead of hours, which would increase human efficiency, focus, and attention span. So the most important, of course, is the human factor. So you have all this great technology now, you're integrating it. So what is the impact on the humans, and how do we now manage that within a facility service sector? So first and foremost, the service providers are required to monitor and control the security systems and technology. You can have the best cameras, but you need somebody to tell you that something's happening or to action that threat. By integrating technology, you're actually complementing the human expertise, producing faster and better results. Real-time action based on real-time analytics, going back to the video analytics aspects. Another critical factor is that personnel provide the advantage of movement, mobility, and all the human senses. So a camera or a reader, they're fixed, right? So something goes wrong, the camera is not going to be able to follow the bad guy. It might deter the bad guy, but at the end of the day, you need You need a human being to either clean the floor, change the light bulb, or to deter a theft or vandalism. Then that goes back into the response factor in handling emergencies, and the human element for interaction, communication, and customer service. So now that the human resources can actually work more effectively and not doing mundane tasks that are too time consuming, really focus on creating a better customer service experience, not only for the guests, but also more importantly for the client. I already said that. So where do we go from here? We can't avoid technology, but at the same time, we can't avoid the human resource aspect that comes into it. So the next inevitable step is basically greater synergy and greater integration. So we must embrace and integrate technology into the service sector to increase efficiency and cost effectiveness, to deliver a comprehensive service solution. So the technology without the people are not going to work, and the people without the right technology, on the other hand, wouldn't work as well, or as efficiently. But we do need to understand the values and the limits of technology and place importance on our greatest asset, which is the human resource. So moving forward, what do we do with the human resources that we have? So basically, instead of having 50 people on site, you're going to now need to have 20 people on site. So those 20 people on site, they need to have a more multifaceted approach to their scope of work. And that basically goes back to companies enhancing their recruiting procedures so that you're hiring better personnel, better staff, so that you can give a better quality of service. You're also modifying your standard operating procedures, security policies, and processes to utilize technology. Again, you buy the best cameras, you buy the best access control systems from these guys, but if there's no SOP in place on how to utilize that technology from a human standpoint, you want to get the maximum ROI on your investment. Review of personnel, job descriptions, and roles with technology. Now that the technology is being integrated, how I function from 9 to 5 is not the same as 10 years ago. So that also needs to be addressed, and expert consultancy companies can definitely assist on that. Other final point that's important are our training programs. So you buy the right technology, you have the right personnel, and you have to consistently train the personnel to meet the challenges and the demands of tomorrow today. And I believe that's the last slide. Yes, it is. I'm done. Thank you.